He's never driven a Class A.
Never.
Never driven a bus.
No, never driven a bus.
So,
hoping that there's nothing else that's going to be wrong with it, but we'll see, I guess. I'm thinking, yeah, it's like a hotel room.
I'm not a high maintenance type of person. I'm not. I just, just a basic standard of cleanliness.
I got more insurance than what I needed, but we're covered, so don't you worry.
So I can drive, basically.
Yeah, you know what? I asked the rent. No, you can't either. There's another clause in there that says.
Show it to me.
I will show it to you. It says this is covered under this individual.
Really?
Yes. But if it makes you feel better, I'll let you pull it out and you can drive it around the RV park. Like
Will you really?
10.
Will you really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, stand by because we might show that.
I asked the guy when we were leaving, I said, are you not worried at all about us?
I heard you ask him that.
And he said, no.
He turned his back and walked off.
He said, I'm not worried about it.
He's like, you'll
do fine. I was like, all right,
Would you be a nervous wreck if I was driving?
I would be. I don't know that I would make it, quite honestly. I don't.
You think you just flatline?
I think I might just pass out. As soon as you put it in drive and pulled out.
You're like,
yeah, I think I might just kill over. But then now you have to pay insurance. And that is a lot.
you could just lay on the bed and look out the back window. What kind of life is that? Well, yeah, because it's an annoyance.
Yeah.
Only women understand that. So.
I think a lot of men are starting to understand that now.
Yeah.
Wow, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here.
Isn't that what y'all do at a campground where you're like?
Yeah, but they're not recording a video.
No, but you're constantly like looking at other people's rigs and you're like, oh, I like that. Or I don't know about that. I don't know if I could be in that. It's just fun to do, you know? And you pick up a lot of tips.
All right, can you focus now, please?
We'll try.
Lucky is when you're at your campsite and there's no one next to you. It's like you've got the campground all to yourself. And then you have this kind of view.
Yeah, y'all know, I maybe don't know if you're new here, but I'm in love with Newmar, so it's hard for me to not think about them constantly. There's a couple of mountaineers here. They look good, real good. We go to these RV shows and see all that's out there, and you can't help but wonder, what would it be like to drive one of those huge motorhomes, have everything at your fingertips as you roll down the road? So I can't get him to spend the big bucks to just buy one. The next best thing to buying is renting, and that's what we're doing this weekend. We're driving about 2.5 hours from home to rent a Class A. It's about 34 feet-ish, I think. And we're gonna have it for a few nights. Not going very far with it, but enough to give us the experience of what it's like driving it for the first time, mind you. He's never driven a Class A. Never. Never driven a bus. No, never driven a bus. So that's the only thing I can equate it to. We're gonna see what that's like. We're gonna see if it's everything I dream it to be. No pressure. We're renting it on RV Share. There's a handful of different sites that you can go to. We picked that one mainly because of location and proximity to where we live. And we're driving to pick it up. You can have them delivered, but we couldn't find one in our area that would deliver. But I know that that is available with some people. And well, some renters will bring it to a campground and set it up for you if your goal is just to camp, you know, and you're not really experienced in towing or in driving, and you really just want to have like a weekend camping experience. They'll bring it and set it up with all the things for you, hook it up, sewer, water, electric, all that stuff. But since we are campers and have been doing this for a couple years, and the whole experience is to see what it's like driving it. So we're going to pick it up.
just driving it a little ways to a campground for the weekend.
You know, we could probably buy a Class A and like drive that for a long, long time.
There are some older ones on the road that still look like
Really good.
Really,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah. First time driving a Class A motorhome. So wish us luck.
Oh my gosh, look at all this room. Look, I can do this.
Yeah.
That's what I did at the show, and you were like, don't do that.
Well, it was a brand new one.
I know, this clearly is used,
Yeah.
but,
Well, I mean, it's a rental.
It's okay. It's not terrible at all. First impressions are just like, okay, let's see. Now you could be a bus driver in retirement. Or you could drive a bus at Disney before you move to Florida. Well, I think I would look good in a Class A. That's what I'm gonna do. I like it.
Yeah, I imagine.
Do you like it?
I don't know if I like it or not. The jury's still out.
I'm comfortable though.
That's why we need to camp. We got to camp in, and it's kind of loud.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm comfortable though.
Well, that is what's important. Is that you're comfortable.
I definitely could get used to this, and Rosie could too. Can you, Rosie? You like it? Don't I look good over here?
Honey, you look good anywhere.
Don't you like to see me relax like this?
I do like to see you relax.
I'd like to give you this, but you won't let me drive. Would you be a nervous wreck if I was driving?
I would be. I don't know that I would make it, quite honestly. I don't.
You think you just flatline?
I think I might just pass out. As soon as you put it in drive and pulled out.
You're like,
Yeah, I think I might just kill over. Maybe that's what we need, you know?
no. Well, it's a fun adventure.
Yeah.
Something we've never done. And that's the goal, right?
That's the goal. Well, and hopefully, you know, you get a feel for it, and then when you go look at them some more,
Yeah.
you've got a little bit of something to compare it to.
Yeah.
See, like right now, I mean, my seat, I'm not very comfortable in the seat.
Yeah.
Proceed to the route.
I feel like I'm on a school bus.
Out of my mind, how could I be so blind? How could I not see? Awake on the floor, looking up, wanting more. This is so unreal. I must have been wrong. Guess your love is strong for him. Why would it not be? He's always there for you. I keep living alone.
So this is the Thor. It's a 2020 Thor Ace 33.1 that we've rented for a few nights. Coming in, you've got your whole captain's area. I don't know what you call that. Like, I want to think of it as an airplane. But your 2 seats, dash, all that good stuff. You'll have to put all the engine information on the screen. I don't know all that. Chairs, which you can see they're a little worn. Bunk over the cab has been nice for him, our almost 17-year-old. Plenty of room for him. And then this is a pull-out couch. It's like a jackknife, so it just like does like that, and it's just these two set flat. So it's not like an actual bed that comes out. These have been redone, and these recliners have been redone also from the original upholstery.
Replaced. They're new ones.
Replaced, rather. Okay. And then you have your dinette here. It's a little tattered, well loved. It makes down to a bed, of course. A little bit of storage up there. Then there's 2 TVs here and one here. There's lots of storage though up here. All his DirecTV and cords and stuff. And then this is your kitchen, so it's relatively small and compact. But I mean, it has all the essentials. So, sink, what is that, 3-burner? Whatever, microwave. And it came with a coffee pot. That was good. But then a little fridge. So, I don't know what cubic foot this is. It's smaller than ours. But it's little, you know? Like 3 little shelves, but not very deep at all. And then the bathroom is compact, I would call it. Obviously, we've been here for a night and a day.
But you
so
still got some shelving.
there's
in
towels.
there and,
But, you know, one thing I think that he could add as an owner is some command hooks.
yeah, command hooks.
Because you never can have enough, obviously. But, like, there's 3 of us. We've all had showers. And so you have to find somewhere to do with your towels, you know? Anyway. And then this slides. It's a barn door. So that's space saving and nice, but I still don't like it right there next to my kitchen.
Then you have a bit of a pantry. Right
Oh yeah, you have a bit of a pantry that pulls out in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit above. And then back here, this door slides, so that's good. So you have a real door, not a curtain, and a very large bedroom. Well, I say very large, but it's a king-size bed. It's bigger than ours.
Yep.
And a very large wardrobe though. So lots of this whole thing has a hanging bar, 2 drawers, and a little bit here. So it was nice to have the windows on either side to pull the shade up and look out at the lake this morning.
Yeah.
And then this window here in the back, you know, is nice. Even going down the highway, it was nice to be able to see out. A lot of motorhomes, you know, have the bathroom in the back, or you don't get that sort of view, but that was nice. And then there's a TV here, a little bit of storage behind it. It pops up.
Yeah, nice area.
Yeah, so a little dresser area to sit your things. A few more drawers. All in all, I mean, it fit the bill, what we were trying to do. And, I mean, I like it.
Wanting more, this is so unreal. I must have been wrong. 'Cause your love is strong for him. Why would it not be? He's always there for you. I keep living alone. We're so far from home. Free, but ready to flee from this all. Oh, to be standing on your own. Oh, to be standing on your own. You knocked me down, swept my feet off the ground, left me on the floor. Hard to resist, got me looking like this, like no one before. 'Cause I must be strong, 'cause this might go on for long. 'Cause I was wrong, and he's always there for you. I keep living alone. We're so far from home. Free, but ready to flee from this all. Oh, to be standing on your own. Oh, to be standing on your own.
How did you sleep?
Pretty good. I was worried I wouldn't because there's this big, like really thick mattress topper, but you kind of like sunk down into it like a nest.
Yeah.
So I didn't move much, but it was good.
Yeah, so a king size bed.
Definitely.
That was a plus.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get. Not that we don't like our queen size in our own rig, but if ever we upgrade, whenever we upgrade, a king size is
Yeah,
going to be
that
on
was
my
nice.
must.
I didn't think it
list.
would be that big of a deal, but I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we left the air or the fan on in the main part of the rig. Nathan slept in the bunk over the
Overhead.
cab. He said he didn't get cold. I don't know if he would tell us if he did get cold. He could have been
He was fine.
with icicles and he might not have said anything.
He's fine. But he slept pretty good. He thought it was pretty comfortable. But he is almost 17, so, you know, comfortable to him is a lot different than comfortable to us.
He could probably sleep on that rock out there
he
and be
could.
just fine.
He could. Not me. And I'm sorry I'm messing with my hair. We're in a literal windstorm. Like, it's brewing up a storm this afternoon.
It's supposed to be calling for bad weather tonight, so we have to be careful.
Yeah. It's really pretty here, Elm Hill RV Resort. I know we talked about it yesterday, but it's a great place for just a camping trip, like a weekend trip, a week-long trip. They're here for 4 or 5 days, aren't they?
Yeah.
But also, it's a great just stopover too if you're on a longer trip and you just need.
Yeah. If
spot.
you want to see Nashville,
Yeah.
you can stop here. And,
I think they like took advantage of being here to see downtown, you know, go down to Broadway and do some of the honky tonks and the country singers bars that are named after different ones. Well, let's talk about our feelings so far. We're kind of mid-trip, so our likes and dislikes so far, and then maybe we can sum up at the end to see if anything's changed on our opinions.
So one thing that was a surprise to me that I've never thought about is this motorhome has all the slides on the driver's side. So when you pull up and you back into your campsite, all of your campsite, like there's no slides right here, right?
So,
on this side.
Well, we're at the picnic table sitting right here, and so it's absolutely, you know.
So like if I had my travel trailer here,
which we have
been here, like my slide would be out, or if we had a fifth wheel, like all these slides would be out. And when you have really small camp spaces,
the concrete pad is not that wide.
No, it's not wide at all. You're pretty close, and so that was something that I didn't. I'd never thought about that. I thought, well, that's kind of nice. The bunk over the cab, I think, was nice.
Yeah,
Nathan
I think he
seemed to sleep really well in it.
No real complaints.
And
so I think that's a plus to have going forward.
I mean, he's almost 17. He still thinks that's fun you know, to get up there.
And he had plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
Length, width, all that. That was good. What other likes?
I like the dinette, and our travel trailer doesn't really have a dinette in it. It's kind of a, you know, it's...
Well, we took it out.
Yeah, it was not the same as a typical dinette like what you see, and we made changes to it. But I really like sitting there, you know, with my computer, and I've got my coffee, and, you know, it's really...
Well, it's a makeshift office space, too, you know.
I like that. And there's windows right there, so you can, granted, where you're sitting, you're looking at your neighbor.
Yeah, it's on that side.
You can open the windows, and we did that. So that was I thought that was nice.
Yeah. Another like is this storage in the bedroom. That's was a surprise to me.
A lot of storage.
Yeah. We don't have a ton in our travel trailer, but this one has a huge wardrobe. It goes across the whole opposite
that whole length
end of the bed. Yeah. A nice little dresser type area, a little countertop area that you can sit stuff with drawers. And it has a ton of drawers and decent sized drawers. Nothing irks me more than when you see a camper with like little shallow drawers. Like you can't put hardly anything in there.
Yeah.
But these have pretty deep drawers, and there's a couple that are shallow.
So dislikes.
Oh, okay. Well, just the unit itself, and then we'll talk about the whole rental. Concept.
Just this model.
Okay, just this model. Main thing is the bathroom is tiny.
Yeah, bathroom's kind of small.
I couldn't even really change in there. Not at all.
The shower was okay. I didn't have any issues.
Smaller than ours.
Yeah, not by much though.
No step, so you know how I feel about that.
No step, so that's not good.
I started to bring my little shower stool that I have in our camper. But I thought, no, I can make it 2 nights. And I was fine, but I wouldn't want to be longer than 2 nights.
I had to hear about it, though.
Well, yeah, because it's an annoyance.
Yeah.
Only women understand that. So.
I think a lot of men are starting to understand that now.
Yeah.
Next thing that I don't like is the refrigerator. It's small.
It is a lot smaller. I don't know what the cubic foot is on it. But
yeah, it's just small. You can see there on the screen that it's small. It's smaller than what we have now, and I don't know. I mean, not that I think we need a ton of space, but
no. But
if you were going somewhere for a week, you couldn't get a week's of groceries in there. I don't think. Or I'm not saying you couldn't, but you would just have to manage it all differently.
Yeah, I don't know if like more than 3 or so days, depending on how much you cook, obviously. And we're not doing a lot of cooking here because we're only here for a couple nights.
To be fair, we're not doing any cooking here.
Right. Well, what else?
There's not on this model. Okay, and keep in mind this is the Thor Ace 33.
Yeah,
0.1.
I see it. 33.1.
They quit making this model in 22. There's a similar one that they have out now, but this particular one that they don't make anymore. There's nowhere to put your sewer hose. And so that's kind of annoying. And the guy that we rented it from, he has it in a box, like a plastic container, which I don't really know what else. I mean, I'm sure you could install that. He just hasn't done it, and that's how he chooses to do it. So I don't really like that.
Look how he has his kayaks. Squirrel moment, sorry. But you could do that over the bed of your truck.
Yeah.
That like rack system and still keep your bed cover.
Wow. That is nothing to do with what we're talking
I know,
about
but
here.
isn't that what y'all do at a campground where you're like,
Yeah, but they're not recording a video.
no, but you're constantly like looking at other people's rigs and you're like, oh, I like that. Or I don't know about that. I don't know if I could be in that. It's just fun to do, you know?
Okay.
And you pick up a lot of tips.
All right. Can you focus now, please?
We'll try.
The rental process.
Okay.
I really did most of it just in terms of trying to look and sending options to her. And I really just looked at RV Share for the most part, only because that was the only ones that had, that was the only site that had a couple of Class A's and Class C's.
That were close
That were
enough to
close to us.
Yeah.
You know, so we still drove 2.5 hours to pick this up.
Yeah.
And the process itself wasn't, it was easy to do. But when you're doing the rental, you know, so you're going through there and you're like, okay, it's this much a night, and you book that, and so you're pumped, you've decided, you know, which one you want, but then now you have to pay insurance. And that is a lot, you know, or it was on this and on RV Share. And I felt kind of like, do I have to pay this, or is like, are there other options? When I did it, and man, I could have done something wrong. There was one option that I could choose, and it would not let me proceed further until I, you know, included the insurance. So that was kind of expensive. And what's interesting was when I got to the site to pick up the RV, and we get to talking to the renter, he is like, or the owner of the rig here, he was like, yeah, insurance is a lot for you guys, because he doesn't make any money off that. But, so anyway, so that was that. I mean, that was the whole process of doing that. Our fella, I think he communicated really well all throughout the process. And I mean, I had his his cell phone number, and we were texting, you know, back and forth, because we've had this we rented it probably a month ago. It's probably what we did. And so, but he was really good to communicate with, and that was very helpful. The only thing that about renting something that, you know, I didn't know what to expect. I'm thinking, yeah, it's like a hotel room. Not really. Yeah, I mean, so this is somebody's property that they are renting out. He's rented it out to other people. I mean, was it clean? Yes. Is it hotel room clean? I would not say that it was.
No.
But
I compared it more to like an Airbnb or a VRBO, because, you know, those are, a lot of people own those, and they have a cleaning or management company that take care of it for you. So I was, in my mind, I'm kind of thinking, you know, he'll stock it with linens, towels, you know, paper towels, dishwashing liquid, just all the necessities kind of thing. And he did for the most part. But I don't know.
The only thing that we really brought was, we brought our own linens, we brought our own pillows, and then we brought a few other things out of our camper, but I don't think that you had to.
You didn't. I was just...
Yeah, towels.
Some things I just get the ick over, you know, and I wasn't sure, so I just want to be prepared. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I did bring our own, because...
Well, he said that most people bring their own linens and pillows and stuff like that.
But you know, when you walk into something, whether it's an Airbnb or a hotel room or whatever, and you just kind of get that feeling, you're just like, I don't know about this, but I'm gonna suppress it and not let it ruin my weekend, you know. And I kind of had that feeling about some things
at first, but
well, I had to go over it with a dusting cloth and some cleaner, because there was dust all over the counters and the bathroom counter. And
I don't know that there was dust all over the counters.
It was
She
dust.
probably wiped it all down,
and just
for sure.
Like the window seal right there by the kitchen sink and the stove, like it was just dust and just yuck there. And I didn't want to look at that.
It's a motorhome, though.
I know, but I want it to be clean at least, you know.
Okay.
I didn't want to like just lay my stuff there with it. I don't know. I didn't like it.
But
That was
that's her thing.
my thing.
I didn't think it was dirty, but
So.
you know, the floors
I mean,
look clean.
He cleaned the shower. He cleaned the
He
toilet.
didn't clean the floors. The bathroom was clean.
The sink was okay clean. I still wiped it out. But yeah. So, you know, it's a 2020. It's like been used a lot. And like you said, it has 120 something
Yeah.
thousand miles on it. So I'm glad it's been used a lot. That's what you want out of a motorhome. Like, you know, that it's going places and taking people to see things and have fun. But, you know, I think it just comes down to like what your expectations are. And maybe mine were just set a little too high. Only because, not just because of who I am, okay? So just hold up.
All right.
It's because
Your expectations are too high, though.
No, they're not.
They are.
Honey, no, they're not. Maybe my expectations are a little bit too high, or were a little bit too high. But I want to explain why. It's not just because that's who I am, because, yes, on some things, for sure. But we've just come back from RV shows, you know, lately, where we've been in, like, super nice, you know, top of the line to budget friendly, but still brand new rigs. And so in my mind, you know, I'm dreaming of all those. It definitely needs the seats to be reupholstered.
I'm just
'cause
glad she didn't bring white gloves. I really am, and just went down through there and just, you know.
I am not that bad. Look, I am not a high maintenance type of person. I'm not. I just, you know, just a basic standard of cleanliness is all I'm asking for. And he met that. He did meet that.
Absolutely.
But you're asking for dislikes, and so I'm trying to give you that.
Okay.
So, okay. There we go.
Here we go.
So let's talk about the cost for renting, in case somebody's interested in doing that. And I'll just preface by saying we are in Middle Tennessee. It's the beginning of March 2026. Well, it's March 14th? March 14th, 2026. And we rented for 2 nights and are staying in Nashville at Elm Hill RV Resort.
Yeah. So the price for this, and it's a Class A, a 2020 gas motorhome, was $304 a night. Okay, so that times 2. And then you have taxes on top of that, and then, which is like your sales tax, which we have here in Tennessee. And then there's a couple of, I don't know, small little taxes there. Then the cleaning fee was $125, which that's not abnormal to have a cleaning fee. Mm-hmm. But then there's a service fee, which I guess goes to RV Share.
Probably.
I guess their service fee. Yeah, I know it does, because it says up here if you look for a refund, you can refund up to 30 days out. So anything prior to that, and they'll give you a full refund less the RV Share service fee. And that was $116. So that's, you know, a percentage, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. But here's the kicker, okay? And here's what I wasn't ready for, was the insurance on it. And that for 2 nights. And I don't know if that goes up the more nights. I really don't know. But that was $480.
That's crazy.
So I thought it was. And if I was to go back and do that again, you know, would that be the same? I tried to find other options on there on how to do the insurance. And that was the only one that I could do. Now, maybe I did something wrong and I paid more than I should have. Could very well have been the case, because I'd never, you know, rented anything on RV Share.
Well, he even said when we picked up and we were talking about insurance that other renters in the past have said, why can't I just use my own personal, you know, auto insurance that I have through my individual insurance company? And he said you can, but it's a hard process to go through I guess RV Share's website to get that adjusted.
I will tell you, when I booked this though, it would not let me rent it without putting that on there. Now, this is not, maybe it can be different for a travel trailer or something like that. If you're renting one of those,
let us know if you've done this before, because
well, you got to keep in mind, man. So like when you rent a car, you know, you have to provide them insurance and all that, and then you can get more insurance too. But this is a motorhome, and you can take it anywhere.
Yeah. We just thought this is a good trial to see, one, if we like a Class A, but what the rental experience is like. Because we've talked about living in Tennessee, and we love the West. We love to go out. Utah, we've fallen in love with, Wyoming, Montana, California, all that. And we've thought, you know, since we're not at all retired, we are part-timers, weekend warriors, if you will, with some week-long, you know, vacation periods throughout the year. But what would it be like to fly, you know, to Montana or whatever, California, and rent, like you see the Cruise America ones or Class B or something like that? And what would that be like, you know? Like, how much stuff would you need to take with you?
Yeah, and that could be totally different, you know, than this.
Maybe.
So I don't know. Did I get, you know, did I pay too much? Maybe, but for what we were wanting to do with it, I'd rather spend a little bit more money renting something just to see if we like something like this than.
Because what was the total? Did you say the total?
Yeah, $1,439.
$39, not including the cost of the RV resort. So what was that?
Oh yeah, I don't know, $75 a night or something like that.
75, I think that's
so
about right.
it's kind of it's a more expensive resort.
So all total, all in, I mean, a little under 2,000.
No, it's like $1,600.
But when you know, your food and your.
Well, I don't count that because you got to eat.
He never counts food. He's like, you got to eat anyway, even if you're at home. So that's true.
I mean, you
do.
You know,
right?
I would think you would like that. That I don't count that.
I do like that. I do like that. I was just trying to be maybe over estimate.
Yeah.
For the people out there.
I would say there's all kinds of ways to do it. This is just how we did it. We might have paid too much. I'd love to know in your comments if
you've rented
if you
before.
think I paid too much and that I I should have clicked some more.
Yeah.
And maybe I got more insurance than what I needed, but we're covered. So don't you worry.
So I can drive, basically.
Yeah, you know what? I asked the rent. No, you can't either. There's another clause in there that says.
Show it to me.
I will show it to you. It says this is covered under this individual.
Really?
Yes. But if it makes you feel better, I'll let you pull it out and you can drive it around the RV park. Like
Will you
she's
really?
10.
Will you really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, stand by because we might show that.
I asked the guy when we were leaving, I said, are you not worried at all about us?
I heard
renting
you
this?
ask him that.
And he said, no.
He turned his back and walked off.
He said, I'm not worried about it.
He's like, you're
You'll
good.
do fine. And I was like, all right, you know. But really nice guy. So I would encourage people to try it at least on RV Share or any of the other rental sites. Just gives you a good opportunity to test it out before you go drop thousands,
hundreds
on
of
something,
thousands.
You know.
Yeah, because like we said in our 2 different videos that we've done, we'll link those. The Class A models that I would love. What was it, under 150 that we found? And then we also did a video on diesel pushers under 250,000 that I would love. And we found lots of options. I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised.
They make a lot of Gas A motorhomes.
They do.
You know, Gas A, Class A.
Gas A.
Gas. I'll edit that out.
Yeah.
They make a lot of Class A motorhomes that use gas. And then a lot for diesel, but you know, a good entry-level motorhome, you know, the gas is kind of the way to go, depending on what you're doing.
All right. So
Anything
summing
else?
up, if we were to buy a Class A this year, you would want to go with
A diesel. I would just bite the bullet and just spend the money and buy a diesel. That way, you're not worried about towing anything. You're not worried about getting up, you know, steep inclines, or you just wouldn't be worried about that. And but it is a lot more money. But I think, you know, what's the point of if you're gonna have to worry about all that, especially if you're gonna tow a car, which we would be. You got to tow something.
You have to. Something.
Which in this RV park, we have seen some nice ones.
Very nice. Well, I think I might. Did I show some yesterday as we were walking around? Yeah, y'all know. I maybe don't know if you're new here, but I'm in love with Newmar, so it's hard for me to not think about them constantly. There's a couple of Mountain Airs here. They look good, real good. There's also a Berkshire here, and I hadn't even heard of that until I think I saw a video on one of some folks that had one in the last couple weeks. So I want to look into that too. It looks good.
I got other stuff you need to be looking into.
Like what? Where we're going next?
Yes, like where we're going next.
Yep.
All right, guys. If you like this video, we have a bunch of others like it. Please subscribe, click the like button, do the notification bell, all of that stuff.
All that stuff.
We would love to hear your comments on what you think about renting an RV.
Yeah.
And if you've ever done it before, your pros and cons, and what we might could do better.